So what we on, Mel? 12? Episode 12 of 2 Cents and Change, the podcast. It is your boy, CEO McLean.
And it's the kid, Melly Mel.
And listen, man, we got a very special guest with us. We got the Brooklyn 9OZ basketball legend, the OG, my man, my BFF, my nigga, Big Dave.
Bro.
What up, Big Dave?
Family, hey, what's happening? What's going on?
What's goody, man? What's goody?
Man,
What's good?
So present, man. I appreciate this, man. Thank you for having me.
No doubt,
Listen,
no doubt, man.
It's a pleasure having you on.
I love what you're doing right now, man. Big things, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Steady working, hard work and dedication. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
It's all day.
Yes,
hey, yo, shout out to I had to bring Lower Marion in the building, Mel. Shout out to Kobe.
To Kobe, man. Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
Black Mamba.
Rest in
Look,
peace
I
to
sure.
the
I got the
bottom.
Penny Hardaway on. I got the Penny Hardaway.
Penny on?
Yeah, I got a Penny.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Penny.
Yeah.
And I ain't got a black bottom. See, I got all flavors. I got the suede on today, baby.
I see you. I see you. You still got a Chicago Bulls hat on with a Lower Marion.
Hey.
But all right, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
They don't make Lower Marion High School fitted.
Yeah, right?
They were talking about that last episode.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'm gonna let him
brand this. But that's the CEO, though, man.
I'm
gonna
let him live. I'm gonna let him live because we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I mean, let's jump right into it. The big topic right now, y'all. The Knicks have fired Coach Tibbs, man. I mean, Big Dave, you kicked that off.
Well, the Knicks, man, they kind of, I don't know, man. They've been making a lot of moves since I've been watching them that don't make sense at the wrong time. Okay. But right now, man, as far as, what they did under Tibbs, why do that to him? Yes, so what have you done for me lately? Yeah, lately I did the best that you ever gotten in the last 25 years.
That's facts.
Eastern Conference Finals, back-to-back 50-plus seasons. That's only in 5. 4 playoff appearances. And this how you repay me? Knicks is something else, man. And if it's just numbers, then his record, he only, 50%, 56% winning percentage, something like that? I don't know what they expect, man. I don't know if they were just trying to say, hey, okay, now, this is the bar, we trying to go from there. But how can you do that with a new coach?
Right.
Who going to follow that right next year? Who going to follow that? Now you're going to have to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps back just to get back where you are right now. The guys love him.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson even said, when they asked him a question in a post-game interview, they was like, yo, what's your comments on Tibbs? And he was like, really basically saying, that's my coach. Like, why would you even ask me that question? I'm looking through his resume, right? So overall, he has a 226 and 174 record. What percentage is that? Who could do the percentage?
That's 56. That's 56%.
2021 Coach of the Year. 4 playoff appearances in 5 years. 24-23 playoff record and back-to-back 50-win seasons, like you alluded to, Dave. I mean, out of all the coaches, the Knicks had prominent coaches like the Jeff Van Gundy's, the Pat Rileys of the world. Thibodeau has probably done the most out of, a majority of the coaches that they had as far as names is concerned. But again, the only gripe that everybody has, it's just not us, is everybody, even players, is that he overworks his players and he doesn't utilize his bench. It was one game where Mikal Bridges played 53 minutes. 53 minutes. How can you sustain? There's no way you can be out there like, yo, coach, nigga, I'm tired, nigga. Take me out, bro. 53 minutes, like, utilize your bench. And he utilized it too late. So, I think that was the deciding factor in that series, was utilizing your bench too late when you should have utilized them in the beginning, so to get them used to playing these games and, getting a number of calls. Okay, I'm good. I got my minutes. I know I'm going to get in. It was, I hate to see him go, but somebody said it's something interesting. I'm going to let you go, Mel. They was like, you look what Mark Jackson did with the Golden State Warriors. Got them right there at the cusp. You know, they got rid of Mark Jackson. Everybody was like, yo, why they got rid of Mark Jackson? Brought in Steve Kerr, won some chips. So hopefully this is the case for the Knicks. Hopefully Thibodeau got him right there. Okay, he gone. Get somebody in and take him over the hump. I don't know. We'll see. What you got, man?
I mean, I agree. I think that you don't fire Tibbs. I mean, this is the best that the Knicks have been in years. And honestly, almost every season you can make the case that they overachieved. Because the first year when they made the playoffs, nobody had them beating Philly with Embiid and Maxey. That wasn't an outright like they're going to beat Philly. And they beat them in 5. Then the next round, you take Miami to 6. You know what I'm saying? Then the next year you come back, playoffs again, better regular season record, get to the second round. You know, it's like you go to game 7 shorthanded versus the Pacers. This season you come back, 50 wins again. Nobody expected them to beat Boston. They get past Boston, get to Indiana. So it's like you could make the case the last 3 years he's improved every year, even with that coach style. But that coach style made Brunson a star. You know? So it's like, I think that it's like, there's like, I remember I was watching something earlier and they was talking and it's like, yeah, like, it's not like you fire Tibbs and there's like a Phil Jackson out there, Popovich. Who? So you firing him to get who? Not a better coach.
Mike Malone.
There's no one better out there.
Right.
And that was the main point of mine. Why would you let this man do this in this a relatively short period of time to allow somebody else, like you alluded to with Mark Jackson and then Steve Kerr, to come now and build my success? Why can't I build my own success? Nobody had you winning the championship, to be honest. I think that was the best of the expectations was to win the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
But matter of fact, to get there, who had them be in Boston?
Nobody had them be in Boston.
Except for Knicks fans, Knicks casuals. What up, Drex?
Even they frontin' though. Because once they went up 2-0, they're like, wait, hold on, whoa. But before that, nobody went into that series like, yo, they beating Boston.
Right.
And you
I know I damn
argue
sure did.
about the injury that Tatum had. But they look what it was when it happened. It was still in the game, injury or not, it still could have happened the same way it happened. Winning in Boston.
But then we got to look at it, right? I think, Mel, you had alluded to it when you was like, Tibbs made Jalen Brunson a star, right? So I saw one thing that was interesting, and it was like, well, is Brunson that star to get the Knicks over the hump, right? Because when you saw when he was in Dallas Mavericks, obviously you had Luka Doncic over there was a star, and Brunson was he was killing over there behind a star, you know. So now people got to look at it and say, well, is Brunson is he the star, or can they bring in a superstar caliber player and let Brunson be the star, and maybe that will get him over the hump? You know, so those are a lot of questions that's being asked, and especially with Brunson and Towns on a court together. I think they plus minus is like in a negative with both of those being both of those guys being on the court together. Those are supposed to be your two stars. So how can you go backward with your two stars on the court? So you know, it's a lot of nuances when it comes to this Knicks team and what they need to piece together in order to get over that hump.
So. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I do believe Brunson's usage percentage was way too high.
And a lot of people say that. He could be a good sidekick player. You know,
Towns went downhill. First round, second round.
I just think Carl Anthony Towns. I think he fell into that trap, right, as being a big man that you must shoot threes, right? Because now these big men, they're just shooting threes. Like, get down in the post, like Shaq said. Get in the post and barbecue chicken these motherfuckers. Like, what are you doing shooting threes?
I need it.
What you said?
I gotta hit some more. I need it.
Oh, right.
It's addictive, bro. Like I got to get back out there from the logo, bro.
From the right.
Yeah.
And you're like 8 feet tall.
Some of them threes was crazy.
You know, all it's gonna take is a big man that's gonna be dominant and play in this era that's gonna make them reverse and be like, you know what? Yeah, let's get back to this big man era because you know these shooting threes, this shit. I really, in my opinion, I just hate watching basketball a lot of time because, like with the Knicks game, case in point, they had a 3-on-2 fast break. The man ran to the corner to shoot the three. I'm like, go make a layup. Yes. Even they was talking on the comments like, yo, bro, make a layup. You go all the way to the 3-point line on a 3-and-2 fast break. You run into the corner to shoot a three.
Yeah. And because Drex commented, even to that point though, where they not even practicing like post moves and back to the basket moves.
They're not.
Like they just practicing 3-point shooting.
Yep.
Now.
Yep.
That's all the game is.
Yep.
And, I mean, and to that point though, would y'all say the Knicks season was a failure or not?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
Not at all.
I wouldn't say the Knicks overachieved.
I think they overachieved. So we all agree on that. So then it's like, okay, to the next point, who should their next coach be?
Tibbs.
Yeah, Drex. No more dribble pull-ups. None of that no more. No fundamentals of the game. No. I mean, the next coach, I mean, if you like you said, man, like who's out there, right? I know they had Mike Malone name attached.
That's the one that keeps coming up.
Right, that's the one that keeps coming up. But Mike Malone just got fired from Denver because of the same thing Tibbs was doing. They felt like they was being overworked and not utilizing their bench. So why would you bring in a guy that just got fired for the same thing that you fired Tibbs for? That don't make no sense. I don't see Mike Malone being the savior of the New York Knicks. You know, I don't see it. I think that was a bad firing. You know, it was a bad firing. The Knicks was like Tibbs got them 2 back-to-back seasons. So their trajectory was on the up and up. Had New York on fire again. 34th Street was on fire when they would go New York, go New York. It was on fire. And it made me like, oh, Knicks. And you know how much I hate the Knicks. Like, oh, go New York. What? Go? Nah, hell no. You know what I mean? But now and if you go to next season, if you get 40, 45 wins, 40, that's a failure. It's a failure. You gotta go up. You gotta go up. So I think the Knicks this season, they like you said, bro, they overachieved. Nobody expected them to beat Boston. They did that. But it's like, yo, you gotta go up from here. If you go backwards, tough to be a New York Knicks fan, bro. If you go backwards next year.
Let me ask you guys one question.
Yeah.
Did the Knicks have a bench to utilize?
Yeah.
No. And it's a Drex point. Mike Malone, when he had a bench, they won a chip. He didn't have a bench either. So it's like, when you don't have a bench, how far are you going? Because people want to, with the Knicks, they want to talk about Shamit. He made 3 threes at the end of the game. They should have used it. It's like, how are you even weighing that? It was meaningless threes.
Yeah, because there's no pressure. There's no pressure.
Yeah, it was meaningless.
Let me give him a jump shot. Had he be in a position where he needed to shoot and make a 3 under pressure, he may be passing the ball at that point. But did they really have a bench to utilize?
Nah.
I mean,
I feel like that's the real issue is the depth. They need to address that.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
I mean, if you look at I'm looking at their bench, right? So you got at least 3 players that I feel, and y'all could chime in, that I feel that they could have got into the rotation, right? Laundry Shaman, as you see, he's a 3-point shooter. Oh, they'll be back. He's a 3-point shooter, right? You got Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne at times could prove he could give you some valuable minutes as that backup point guard. Give Brunson a little break. Let Cameron Payne come in there, do what he do, because he's a feisty individual. He give you that spark off the bench. And they had P.J. Tucker, even though he's in his latter years, but he could hit a few corner threes. That's what and he could play D. So those are 3 guys that you could have put in your rotation on your bench that you could have played that can give you valuable minutes. Not even if they don't give you the points that you're looking for. They're going to give you the rest that these guys need in order to refresh, reset, to get back in there. You had 3. I ain't even gonna name the other ones, but those are 3 notable players that have been on past teams, been contributing to their teams, but you didn't play them. So
yeah, and that's like kind of like Drex commented too. But it's like, yeah, that's why during the season you gotta give people reps. So that way when you comes playoff time, people have reps, they confident, they comfortable, they know they role, and you can definitely, roll with them. But when it's like you get to the playoffs, they're not getting no reps, and then you just expect people to just pop in and do something. It's like it's not realistic.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Because Cameron Payne, he's been, he does turn the ball over here and there, but we're just talking about it in terms of giving these guys minutes just to give your starters rest. Because there's no way you can play these guys 45, 50 plus minutes a game.
Yeah.
Like, they get tired. These guys are human beings. They get tired. That could cause ailments later on down the road because, again, notably, they saying that was the cause of Derrick Rose's injury because over all the games he played, the type of player that he was at that time was up and down. Give that man a break. His knees is going crazy up there. So I'm just saying those are 3 rotational players that they could have played to give the Knicks starters some kind of rest, man. And then, like you said, Drex, he hit or miss. He could be hitting in some games. And you like, good. That's what you need. That spark off the bench. Cameron Payne give you a good 6-0 run by himself because he's so erratic sometimes and he give you that energy. I think that's what they was missing. They was missing, though, that bench element. And PJ Tucker over there, man. He's a well-known good defender and knockdown three-point shooter.
What they got him
What they got him for? To sit there and look good in the sneakers?
Yeah.
I guess. What did you get him for? You gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and the man ain't really do shit. Like, come on, gave up your whole...
He was not 5 picks. They was just so feed out, I guess maybe because all of the Villanova people wanted him. It's like, yeah, they gave up a package for him that the Lakers should have gave up to get Luka.
Right. That's a Luka deal. That is a Luka deal. PJ to promote tennis shoes.
Yeah,
facts.
Crazy.
Why did you get him for, man? But yeah.
And even so, the segue though to NBA Finals preview.
Go ahead, man. I got you.
OKC versus the Thunder. I'm gonna say OKC versus the Thunder. OKC versus the Pacers. I know it's like that's not going to be the big ratings, but I do think that the type of teams that they are, as far as just their makeup, it's something different for the NBA as far as trying to restore order and balance in a sense of just like to the team element of the game. It's good. I think a pure basketball fans will enjoy it. I think that as far as who wins, I definitely got OKC. I think because what's these guys? The Pacers, what they like to do, OKC, they're young, they get to it. So that advantage that they normally have, I don't think they're going to have it versus OKC. So I like OKC to win the series as well.
You discussing the finals?
Yeah.
We're talking about, who you got?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the decision is in the front court.
Maybe.
I think the decision of this game is in the front court.
It could be.
But I like the matchup.
Nah.
I don't know. Hey, my opinion, right? I like the matchup. I really like the matchup, and I'm very interested in seeing what's happening. I think this is going to game 7.
7? Okay, that's interesting.
It's recorded. It's documented, correct? It's documented, correct?
Yeah, it's documented.
It's documented. I think this is going to
7. Dave, you my man and all, but that's a crackhead answer, bro. 7?
I understand.
Listen,
I think it's going to 7. I promise you, they both on high. But I think Indiana already got the momentum going into the series. I don't think they expected to be there either. I think OKC already knew they was going to be there, just didn't know who they was going to play. I think they made kind of, we got them.
7.
We got them.
That's a stretch, bro. I'm not going to say 7. I give Pacers a guaranteed 1, maybe 2. And I'm going to go with Drek say, like, they don't take a lot of threes, right? So, and that's watching basketball, right? So, 3-point, somebody shoot 3, long rebound, Pacers out and running. They ain't going to get that with OKC. The height is what's going to kill Indiana. It's bad matchups, bro. Bad matchup. You got Hartenstein and Holmgren. Like, who's gonna put bodies on those two? And Chet Holmgren is finally realizing, nigga, I'm 8 feet tall. You grab a rebound, pump fake, dunk. He ain't even thinking about shooting threes like that. He down there, dunk, lob, dunk. Shea, he don't shoot threes. What do you do? Mid range. You got Williams over there. You know, like that. Dort is the only one that would shoot a 3, but he makes them at a high percentage. I don't know, bro. I don't know, Dave. If 7, no way, shape and form. But it's your 2 cents on that. But I just think it's a horrible matchup for Indiana. Horrible matchup.
I like it, man. I like it because what I see is not on paper.
Right. That's what Drek said. If Cat killed him by himself, what you think OKC Big's gonna do? They ain't gonna have no air. But I will say this. I'm not gonna disrespect Rick Carlisle. He's an NBA champion. He knows his shit. So I ain't gonna disrespect Rick Carlisle. Now, the only way Pacers, to your point, Dave, in that front court, the only way Pacers will win the series is if they get extremely out-coached. That's the only way. Because matchup-wise, they can't match up with Thunder. But coaching-wise, if they could do some things to like, yo, he like to pump fake one time, like little nuances like that. If they really watch film and say, yo, Shy, he does this, you put him like this way, he could. That's coaching. So if they be able to, if he could, Rick Carlisle could coach this team like he could, that's the way they could win this series. Other than that, I don't know.
Not for nothing, I think OKC backcourt will have some trouble.
You said OKC backcourt?
You think Shea have a problem?
Shane Williams going to have problems in the backcourt?
Big guards, defensive, move well, quick on their feet.
Shay's like 6'5".
So Indiana is what, they small in the backcourt? That's what you're saying?
Halliburton is the only one with a little bit of height, but the overall height, Thunder got all the height, bro. They whole team is like starting 5 is like 6'5" and better.
I mean, I'll give you Williams. He's like not.
You got Shaq that's 7 feet. Hartenstein like 7 feet.
4 or 5 or 3 or 4 guard. Well, forward or whatever. Mm-hmm. But other than that, yeah. I mean, I see what I see. You see what you see. I think the chemistry in themselves with them teams is. I don't know, man. I just see it different, man. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight.
So I got a question then. To another point. Is Halliburton a star then? Is that what you're saying? Halliburton is a star?
He been
That's what you're saying, Dave?
Yeah. He been a star.
I think what you were trying to ask him, Mel, was he a superstar?
Yeah, is he a superstar?
Okay.
I don't want to say a superstar, but he's definitely a star. He's been that. He's well seasoned. He ain't no rookie. He ain't no little boy. He know what it takes.
Okay.
They don't get this far, turn it back now, and this ain't their first time here at OKC.
I mean, go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say he's not a superstar, definitely not. But see the thing with Hallie, he been up and down. Like he'll have a good game, bad game. Might have 2 bad games in a row. So on the big stage now, when you got to deal with Shea. And you must show up. This is where we're going to really see what Halliburton is made of because you have no night off. You have no, like, you know what I mean? You gotta come through and deliver. So I think that's what Shea does. But Halliburton, I think we all agree he's not a superstar, but
yeah,
he's not consistent.
I mean, he didn't.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
He didn't even win the Eastern Conference player.
He thought he was gonna win.
You know. So
hold on.
What he said?
Don't get me wrong. All right. When the money come out the wallet, it's going to OKC. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I just said I think he's going to 7. That's all I said. I think he's going to get
smart man. Smart man.
See some. All right. Don't get me wrong though. Okay.
No, but I think they be throwing this star and superstar shit out too much. Right, because we talked about it last episode, you know, and I was giving down like the tiers, right? Like, you got to get the individual accolades means a lot, you know. And even Mo said something. I was checking the comments when he was like, you know, endorsement deals, your own sneaker line, and you know, a lot of shit like that factors into being a superstar. I just think that the media throws superstar out there too loosely when the guys didn't even reach the tiers yet, you know. So he's a star.
You got to be a star to be a superstar.
You got to be a star to be a superstar. Right now, it's looking like Siakam is the star or more ahead.
He's the best player on the Pacers.
I mean,
he's the best player on the Pacers, in my opinion.
Right. So it was like, you know, Hallie, you got to wait, bro. You're a great point guard. Like, you are an essential point guard. You know, you're not CP3-esque, but you if you keep playing the way you play, you know, you could potentially get there. Huh?
Why you say that?
Say what?
I would have thought you would have said the total opposite, especially when comparing him to that player.
To CP3? Because he's not
going to do 35 and 15, you know what I'm saying? But
no, CP3 is a pure point guard. We're talking about in terms of pure point guard.
Halliburton is that for his team.
He's a pure point guard. You know, because you look at like a Kyrie is a scoring point guard. He ain't gonna give you no double-digit assists all the time. He probably give you 40 and 2 assists. You know, so like Brunson is a scoring point guard. I think
Halliburton's full circle for what you need me for when you need me.
Absolutely, I agree.
So this day is, you know, 15 assists and you know, 7 points and 9 rebounds, right? But then, you know, I got 25 and 9. You know, and 6 assists. It's just, you know, I feel like he's very, very what you need when you need it.
Yeah. Like what Drake said, he said Hallie is good as his matchup. You know, like that matchup with Brunson favored him. Now he got to go up against 2 guys that are 6'5" and above, right? So those matchups don't favor Halliburton in this series. So, you know, that's why I think Thunder gonna get him out of here pretty quickly. I give Pacers a solid one game. And that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents and change.
What you said now? So 1 game?
I'm like, yo, listen, man.
Yeah, 1 game. I give him a definite 1. I give him a definite 1 and maybe 2. Like the second game they get, it'll be like how Halliburton did it. Or it got to be a buzzer beater. Oh shit, they won the game. The type of game. Like if between those lines, 48 minutes, it's gonna be hard to beat Thunder, man. That team, like this is Thunder NBA championship was against the Nuggets. That was their championship against the Nuggets. They beat the Nuggets because that was the only team to take them to 7 games. Other team, they got them up out of here. Every other team, they got them up out of here. Nuggets was the only team that took them to 7. And Pacers is nowhere near the Nuggets.
That's by
nowhere near the Nuggets.
That's by them giving up after big leads.
So look at this. So I'm asking this question, D. So are the Pacers, can they stack up well against the Denver Nuggets if they was in the series?
Matchups make fights. And we can't.
They do. I'm just going to go from team to team, top to bottom.
And you beat him.
Team.
Don't mean I beat him. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying, just go from team to team. Do you feel Pacers is a better team than Denver, or is Denver a better team than Pacers?
And you talking about in terms of what they have won?
Just the team. Because I'm going to lead up to my next question after you answer that question.
Denver showed their Achilles heel when it comes to their bench. And they stars out the game, and you're not even knowing if
No,
Point guard.
it's a simple question. Which team is better, Denver Nuggets or Indiana Pacers?
This season, I think Indiana Pacers is a better team. Yeah, you had Mike was MIA for a while.
I agree with that though. I think top to bottom, the Pacers, they're a deeper team.
Team went downhill.
The Nuggets?
This season, yes. This season, yeah.
This season, yeah. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree. I agree with you, Dave. Like you saying this season, yeah, like you can't look at it.
It was real nasty work again.
Like Denver was all over the place,
and they still
this year
wasn't clicking properly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I mean,
this season,
we judging about this year, cool. But I'm talking about as far as a team, like Denver Nuggets is a better team than the Indiana Pacers. Granted, Pacers had a good year this year, but if you put Denver Nuggets and Pacers in a series, Pacers is not beating the Denver Nuggets.
Your series is different though. Like you asked the question of who was the better team, but then it's anything. It's just different? Like because the Boston Celtics was a better team than the Knicks.
They were absolutely.
The Cleveland Cavaliers was a better team than the Pacers.
Well, we can't include Cleveland this year because they was injured. Now, Knicks and Pacers,
they was banged up for some games.
Knicks and Pacers,
but even so, right? They missed some key guys, but we're just talking about from a season. And it's like you talking about the Nuggets not for the season. So you just talking about if we just going off the roster, them teams was better.
Cleveland,
but then a series things change.
Should have been off the roster on paper. We just talking about on paper, but we're not talking about on paper. Right. We're talking about what we saw.
Well, I'm just saying
that's a key word: team, chemistry, team.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying in terms of team, like just team, Denver Nuggets, Indiana Pacers. My opinion, Denver Nuggets got a better team, and if you put Denver against OKC, as you see, they took them to 7. Pacers gonna have to play the same exact team, and we're gonna see what they're gonna do.
The reason OKC went to Game 7 with the Nuggets is because of the Joker factor. It's not a regular guy. It wasn't because they was evenly matched. Once they got blown out in Game 7 when they really said, "Okay, hold on, we really gotta stop Joker," and you see what happened.
Gordon,
they put a smaller dude on him.
Aaron Gordon, Achilles. I mean, his hamstring.
He was hurt too. But the fact of the matter is that he has some key moments in the playoffs, but Denver's success was based on Joker, the Joker factor. They handled Joker accordingly by putting a small guy on him where he can't put the ball on the floor and do all of that. So it eliminated that part of the Joker game. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. They took care of that. That was the only reason I went 7. Take Joker out and put any other big, that series ain't going 7.
I agree.
That's props to Joker because he's that good of a player.
Right. So this goes back to my point, right? Denver Nuggets took OKC to 7 games. That was their championship right there. Pacers don't match up with OKC at all. So
I agree with you. Like the question, you're talking about Pacers in Denver.
Yeah, but Pacers, I'm talking about as far as I wanted to break it down in teams first, right? With the Denver Nuggets and Indiana Pacers, right? So I wanted to break it down that first before I went to the point. How do you think Pacers got a chance with OKC if OKC and Denver, as they constructed, how that team is, and they took that team to 7? How can you expect Pacers to take OKC to 7 if they don't have a better team or they can't match up with the Nuggets? Like, so how can you expect Pacers? Because like you said, Dave, it's a game of matchups. They don't match up with OKC at all. You know, at all. There's no matchup where they win. There's no matchup top to bottom in the starting 5 that they win. None.
I'm just saying, you may be looking at just on paper. I'm looking at more chemistry and flow and flex of the game itself with them 2 teams. And I see where it's going to be an issue for both of them, and pride going to kick in, and even the fact that I told you, Indiana's the underdog, and they
definitely the underdog. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure if any other team to make it where they just made it to, they know for a fact we ain't coming back. You better get it now.
Okay, in 5.
All right. So to that, as far as because since how both of these teams is made up, is like should teams raise or obtain stars? And I think that these teams is good examples of like the raising the star because when even though Indiana obtained Halliburton and the OKC obtained Shea, but they weren't superstars or on that like at that point when they received them. And they both did good drafting. And like say for example, Indiana, they had Sabonis over there with Turner and had other bigs. They got rid of the other bigs to free up Turner. You know? So I would say the way this finals matchup is a good example of like raising stars. Yeah, raising them.
Yeah, I agree.
Building the pieces around.
I agree. And this all goes back for me to LeBron James and what he did, right? Because obviously in the past there was a lot of big threes. You know, Boston had like a big 7 when they had Mikal, Bird, like they whole 7 Hall of Famers on their team. Lakers with Kareem, Magic, Worthy, you know, but these guys were guys that were already on the team and they got either, you know, they groomed the team, they groomed them into stars, and they became stars. You know, Michael Jordan, they drafted Scottie Pippen, they groomed together, they grew. LeBron James messed it up. Like Boston Celtics kind of started it when they formed their big 3, but they formed their big 3 in their mid to late 30s. But LeBron James went at 25 years old and his peak, starting the peak of his prime, and said, yo, I'm going to go form a big 3. And that's where everybody's like, oh, player empowerment. That's when the big 3 era started, and it killed, in my opinion, killed the NBA, because then that allowed Golden State to say, okay, well, if Bron could go over there, KD, let's come on over. And KD was a free agent. They didn't trade for him. KD said, I'm going to go over to Golden State as a free agent and go play with his team. And look what happened. Everybody, oh, they cheating. Was right. They cheating. They cheating. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron wasn't cheating when he went over there and got 2 in Miami, right? So I just think that to close it out, I just think that it's unfair to a lot of teams that are not big market teams, that are not able to get the big market stars. It's not unfair to those teams to get to look at teams like that, do that, and get these stars. When you look at OKC, it's like, yo, this is a young guy right here. Let's trade for him. They had Paul George, Westbrook, all these guys. Let's trade for this young guy. We see something in him. And now look, he groomed MVP to lead. You went and got Halliburton from Sacramento. He's a young, good point guard. Like you said, Mel, we got Sabonis over here. We got Miles. He's over here. He could give us some. Let's give it these guys. Let's develop these guys. And now look, you got 2 teams that develop their stars in the finals. I think it's great for the NBA.
But even before them, with the Bucks and Giannis, they drafted him. And they went all the way.
Yep.
So before this finals, you had that situation, and even Denver, they drafted Murray.
Yep.
So it's been the last couple champions. They drafted Michael Porter.
Yep.
They drafted a lot of those. You know, you might obtain a piece like the Bucks obtained Drew Holiday. Right. Denver obtained Gordon. You know, you gotta, you obtain pieces, but the core is the people that you drafted and built up. So I think if we really look at it, the last couple years, even Golden State, they drafted Curry Thompson, Clay in them. So it's like, what Milwaukee, Golden State, Denver, like the last few champions their core was all drafted
stars.
So I think it's a good thing in that regard. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, hopefully this big 3 era thing is over, because
I think it is.
Phoenix Suns was the last team to try it, and look how that super failed. Super duper failed. Yeah. Like oh my God, horribly failed. Like, stop this big 3 shit and getting 3 superstars. It's not enough ball to go around to get 3 superstars on your team. Like, it's not enough ball to go around. It's just stupid.
Yeah. That's Phoenix.
Bum ass LeBron did that shit.
So, you had anything to add to that, Dave?
Well, in my opinion, I think homegrown is probably best because those that are acquired are easily released on their own regards or by the team. It ain't hit right, so I'm going to that. Like one of the chicks that ain't really yours. You think it's yours? She did for a short time for a good time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I look at teams like San Antonio and I say, oh man, had they really had a chance to be in it, I don't know if we'd be talking about some of these teams right now.
I mean, they dominated when they was in their era. They got 5 championships hanging over.
I mean, this year.
Yeah, talking about this year. If they didn't get injured with Wemby and Fox, everybody got hurt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you got somebody whether it be a rookie like Wemby or a staple like Ant, I think you have to figure out how to put the pieces around them. So yeah, you need to grow because you want that foundation, that anchor, to know that they're comfortable there, and the organization is trying to build around them to win. And if you're good enough, people won't want to come. If you build it, they will come.
They will come.
And
absolutely.
I think really that's the best part because like if I came to you, I wanted to be here. I come here for no money. I believe in what's going on, and we got the same goals and ambitions, right? If I'm just putting some guys together, yeah, I probably win a chip or two, but it's going to take a LeBron, a Wade, and a Bosh, you know what I'm saying? Or 3 champions. I put 3 champions together. That's different with their team. Or 3 champions, versus Celtics, But short answer, yeah, I do prefer and agree with homegrown.
Homegrown all the way, man.
Yeah.
There's going to be another homegrown team going with a chip.
Here, and y'all come to me and we do this together. That's a whole different,
Right. I want to throw this out there because I know Ope is going to clip the shit out of this. So if Michael Jordan was able to form a big 3, who you think he will play with? What big 3 you think Mike will play with? Or what big 3 y'all think would carry Mike to like more than 8 championships? Which big 3?
You mean just his era or just put 3 together with Mike?
Like if Mike in his prime at 25, Mike said, yo, I want to take my talents to somewhere else, and he called up Magic, but Magic was kind of like
his era.
If Mike, a 25-year-old Mike, right? Say if he called up Clyde Drexler, like yo, or just what 2 players would you think Mike would call? Because it's one player that they was hinting at 2 that could have played with Mike, or one could have played with Mike, but one they was like, what if they would have played with Mike? One was T-Mac, because they said T-Mac was supposed to get traded for Scotty, and Mike said no.
25-year-old Mike?
25-year-old Mike is like early 90s, 80s.
Yeah, like...
If we talking about 25-year-old Mike,
that would be 25. Because sometimes I go off the deep tangent sometimes. But yeah, 25-year-old Mike.
So that's late 80s, early 90s, like around 89, 90-ish. That's that time.
Yeah. What 2 would you pair with Mike?
At that time, I could see him pairing with maybe like a Barkley and like a Barkley and like maybe like a, I don't know, like maybe like a Ewing, because I'm like, these are people he had I'm talking about people he had relationships with. I'm just like, wait, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to even imagine because he wasn't that type of guy. So I'm just trying to really think, like, you know what I mean? But that's honestly something like that because he had relationships with those guys.
88, 89.
Just imagine, and I like that. I'm going to keep that one. So just imagine Mike with Mike, Barkley, and Olajuwon.
Hold on, I want to see the roster at that time.
Olajuwon was in the league at that time.
He got drafted. Yeah, he was in there. All of them was in there, and they was all like, reaching a prime at that time too. They was all in a element.
Just if Mike and Barkley played with each other, come on, bro, that's cheating. That's That's cheating. That's cheating. Then adding Olajuwon, that's super cheating. Super cheating. But that's just the scope of what LeBron did at his current time. What you got, D?
I would go Elijah. You said 2 more with him?
So Mel said Barkley, and I threw in Olajuwon.
You said big 3 with Mike.
A big 3 with Mike at 25.
2 more?
Yeah.
I would definitely do Olajuwon. Damn, man.
I think Barkley is a perfect fit. Cause like Mel said, that was his man's in him.
I know, but I feel like when it comes down to, and this is my position, right? The 2, the 3, the 4. The 2 big enough can we can go up and down in positions, right? That's just me because I played all 3. But I need a guard, and Mike was so ball dominant.
He don't need no guard. Mike played point guard one time and had like 14 assists.
So he would
stop playing with the GOAT.
He would
see that man back there?
It would be him, the center, and the 3, which could possibly still be the 4. I ain't talking about Dominique.
Dominique is a good choice
too.
Mike.
I probably would, With this group I'm looking at, the 1989, 88, 89 All-Stars, I probably would go Olajuwon and Barkley.
And who?
And Barkley.
Because we're not talking about shooters time period. So we talking about gritty, flexible, get to the basket, foul trouble, and then Mike took care of everything else. So
right. I think you got a center, a guard, and a big. That you got what better combination than that? You don't really need no point guard to really.
If I just ran it through, we talking about Mark Jackson, Nickel, Jordan, Ewing, Moses Malone, Charles Barkley.
Get those guys out of here, D. Those guys.
No, this is the
fuck out of here.
This is the All-Star team. That's the All-Star team. Yeah, he made the All-Star team in 88, 89.
Fucking bum ass Mark Jackson. Play with Mike.
He made the All-Star team for some reason.
Fucking Mike. Mike ain't going
Mark Price, Terry Cummings,
Dave
Malone, Stockton, James Worthy, Jabbar. But that was the All-Star game.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Moomy. I'm cursing him. My daughter's on there. I'm sorry, Moomy.
Those are people that was in the All-Star game when Mike was 25. Tom Chambers, Dale. Now, Dale Ellis.
Dale Ellis? You said Dale Ellis?
I'm going to shut up because I don't want you, start trying to roast.
No, I
liked him. I mean, dude had a nice game, bro.
Nah, I respect Dale Ellis, Supersonics guy. I like Dale Ellis.
They ain't going names, but if I'm telling you, these guys is in the All-Star game when Mike was 25. That's something, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I would probably go because Barkley was just super dominant, and we're not talking about need the ball. That's why I picked him. And then Olajuwon too, super dominant, but don't need the ball. Mm-hmm. So that goes perfect with Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
So that would be Mike's big 3. Mike big 3 at 25. Mike Olajuwon and Barkley. And that's our 2 cents on that.
And then we almost at the end of the topics. I mean, as far as like the Paul George, because both the teams in the finals, like Paul George was on both. So I didn't really. So you leave that question, bro, so I can really understand that.
I got that from ESPN, and obviously Paul George was on both of those teams, and Paul George was a catalyst on both of those teams via trades that actually got the teams that they got now, able to get the assets that they got now in order for these 2 teams to be in the finals. So we look at it as like, Paul George at one point was a superstar, and they was able to. Well, not able. They just say, we're going to get rid of Paul George to get this, and look at the 2 teams that he got traded from and where they at now. So, and you got to look at it, what's going on now in Philly, right? What went down when he got traded to Thunder, what happened over there when they tried to pair him with Melo and Westbrook. He went to L.A. He was on Clippers. That didn't really go well. Now he over here in Philly. That ain't going well. So was Paul George the problem?
Nah, I don't think he was the problem on them teams.
Okay, I mean, people are talking about it. They talking about it,
especially on Indiana, young PG. I just think that they ran into Miami.
They did. They did run into Miami.
So Paul George definitely wasn't at fault on them teams. They just that they ran into Braun and D Wade. So I think as far as the Indiana era, and then OKC, Paul George was playing his best basketball. I honestly think Westbrook was the problem when it was Melo and Paul George because he didn't take a back seat. Why is Carmelo Anthony averaging 17, 16 points? Like, why? And why is there a playoff game where this dude Westbrook taking 40 shots when you play with Paul George and Melo? So I think
35 shots.
Westbrook. Yeah, I think as far as OKC time, I don't think Paul George is the problem there. And then on the Clippers, I think it was more of the health with him and Kawhi. So if you want to say he was a problem in the Clippers, yeah, because of his health. But Paul George is not a cancerous guy. His problem was always his health. So that's what I say.
And OKC was actually an MVP candidate at one point in OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
people are talking about it. They saying it because they're looking at because you see the two teams obviously that's in the finals, which Paul George played for, and looking at what he's going through now in Philly when people is like, "Yo, you worrying about podcasting, man? You gotta get back on his court." Because Gilly the Kid went on his podcast and told him in his face like, "Yo, bro, we need you on the court. Fuck this podcast shit." You know what I'm saying? So they, in light of all of that going on, that's why people are feeling and throwing his name out there and saying, "Well, is Paul George the problem, because of the two teams that's in there now?" But yeah, to your point, man, Paul George is a stud. I just think that, he bad situations, health, bad situations, couple of, But what you got, D? Take us home, D.
The original LeBron killer.
The original LeBron killer. I mean, Paul George was giving it to him. Pause. Yeah, he was. But
killing LeBron.
They was going at it in that series.
LeBron
they was going at it.
Killer.
They was going.
I'm not getting behind that one.
Barbecue.
I'm not getting behind that one. I'm not.
I'm lying. I'm lying.
They was going toe to toe. I won't say he was killing because at that time that was prime LeBron. Like,
and guess what? No fear. Busting his
I would say going at LeBron. I won't say killing LeBron.
And I wasn't even. I think the one time when they kind of went at it was maybe the last time when they faced in the playoffs and Paul George was on the Pacers. But them first two in Miami.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Mel. That statement I made got nothing to do with the playoffs. Every time I see you. Okay. You talking about regular? I say I can't. All right, so because I'm going off the playoffs. And I'm talking about it was the second game of the season, the 13th, 28th, or the 44th. Okay. It's a war. Okay. Now, I ain't guaranteed to see you in the playoffs, right? I'm not guaranteed. Yeah. Right? And I'm not in my brain or my pocket, my bag that much so I can remember how many times I actually fared off in the playoffs. But I know them games I saw, no fear. George, no fear. LeBron suited up, and it was never a walk in the park. Not one time. That man was shattered and tore his leg up. He might as well stuck it in the girl pocket. All right? Rehab came back. Ooh! Yeah, I forget you. I'm back to business. What's up? You forgot me? You forgot me?
Now, poor George is that guy.
Still get it. And this is bigger and better. And still, George don't care nothing about him.
Man.
He's the only person I've ever seen. He don't care about LeBron. He gave him the business every time, bro.
I mean, I think a lot of players gave LeBron the business because LeBron is not a.
George is consistent, bro. He don't care. He never cared.
I'm not backing the allegations, man. I done seen LeBron bust Paul George ass a lot.
Yeah. Like I said, Paul George, went at LeBron, and LeBron even in the playoffs when they gave him that dab, like, yo, man, you cooking out here, B.
So they had some good matchups.
You got to go check it out.
But yo, man,
we ended on that.
This is episode 12, right?
12.
Did we do
episode 12, man?
SB?
Huh?
Did we do SB?
SB what?
Barkley.
What you talking about?
Oh, the cover.
Oh, the cover.
The Madden cover. Oh yeah, shout out to Bobby getting the Madden cover.
Oh yeah, shout out to Saquon. Instagram only give us an hour. They be trying to cut us off, so we try to keep it within the hour regimen.
Say no more.
So I can clip these. But yeah, shout out to Saquon Ball in the cover of 2K. Was it 25? 20 Madden?
26.
Shout out to he was a former Giants.
2005 rushing yard. The best player of the year. The reverse hop over. You know what they call it? The reverse what?
The backward hop.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Saquon, man.
Shout out to Saquon, man. Shout out to my man D, man. Episode 12, man. My man
shout out to Big Dave. Episode 12.
Remember FM? Tune in.
Gemini. Big Gemini. 1212.
Taurus game. Taurus game, baby.
It's June.
You know what it is.
Bro. Let
your boy Seal McLean.
Your boy Melly Mel.
FM. Episode 12. We out, niggas.
Love
y'all. Love y'all.
I'm not Shaq.
What up, Shaq?